this is a summary of what did come out from the Africa Roundtable. Well, in fact, we had a very dense discussion and with lots of experts, so we identified at least 12 key challenges regarding the implementation of zero deforestation policies in Africa. So I will just list them very quickly, and then we'll come back on the three main of them we deal with in order to find some solutions and also the potential synergies. So the first challenge we identified was the rule of law and the lack of rule of law in African countries, especially in the Central Africa. Then also the lack of development policies inside the country concerned. We also mentioned that there was a lack of engagement from politics and also from corporates, from companies, and which was not supporting enough the initiative, the local initiative and national initiative when they exist. Also, there was a mentioned lack of implementation means, meaning that locally, when there are some initiatives, and there are some initiatives, there is a lack of technical resource, training, and people to implement the solution. There was also a kind of lack of planification and land tenure rights, meaning that, and also including a lack of cadastral section and services, lack of awareness for end consumers and industry, sometimes from the end consumers through the supply chain and to the industry, people are lacking of information of local situation, so they might take the wrong decision or not adaptive solutions. There was also the question of how to support development in developing around the forest without impacting more the forest as it is at present. And the two last major challenges were the high pressure from industry, meaning the increasing pressure from industry, integrating forestry, mining, agrobusiness, and also the lack of local population empowerment, meaning sometimes there are lack of understanding of the local situation, the interest of keeping the forest alive, and also how to deal with developing agriculture and for their family, and also protecting at the same time the forest. So this was the main challenges, and we only had time to deal with 3 of them. So I will just present briefly. First of them, the lack of rule of law, how to deal with the lack of rule of law. The idea is to develop a strict condition for international support, for instance, meaning for each support to have very strict condition on the implementation, on the way the money is used on the ground. Also to raise the awareness of civil society, meaning providing some tools, some support, and also to supporting their local actions. It means also sometimes, depending on the condition, it could be the support to institutional counterpower, because in some countries, some people are really aware and fighting, but are lacking from external support. And also to develop national policies to push for certification on other part of external recognitions. The idea also is to strengthen international policies, a bit like the existence of FLEGT at EU level, but to push for international recognition for what is being done, and also to strengthening what is being done and developing new international regulations. As a second topic, dealing with agriculture and subsistence, so solution which were proposed was to develop, well, at least to have national policies for each country, meaning developing in the same way farming agricultures, but also agroforestry, and empowering local farmers, meaning to giving them the ability to develop the yields of their own crops, and also to develop potentially payment for ecological service when they are protecting in the same time the forest. So developing the agricultures and also developing the support and the money to protect the remaining forest. Also to secure land tenure in order to give visibility to all population, and also to give visibility for the families in case of heritage. Also pushing for payment for ecological service, we already mentioned this, and also pushing for, from an external point of view, for the implementation of responsible sourcing policy, purchasing policies, meaning that the companies sourcing in that area are aware and are pushing for the best practice in place. And the third topics we deal with was the planification and the development of land tenure. Well, the solution proposed were to develop resource and technical means, once again, either at local level but also at national level, in order to structure the society and to give support to every steps of the chain. Developing also the payment for ecological service. This is something quite transversal we find again in different topics. And to carry out macro and micro mapping at national and local level, meaning that giving visibility and also registering every data and updating the data very frequently in order to give visibility and transparency to all the stakeholders, and as well from the companies and the corporate companies external from the country, and also to the local communities. And last but not least, increasing transparency on land tenure and land use, and how the states are attributing the land to the different companies or villages, and at least also to adopt some more consultation practices within the stakeholders, either at the local level but also at national level. So meaning empowering civil society and NGOs. So that was the main outcomes from the African Roundtable, and thank you for your attention.